just about this time, so they're raring to go. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to read the story of Stella Luna. Now, if you've already heard the story, I think you'll enjoy hearing it again. But if you haven't heard the story, I think you're really going to like it. After we read the story Stella Luna, we're going to talk about some things that we learned from the story about what bats are, where they live, what they eat, some things that bats do to help people out. And then I have a couple real live bats for you guys to eat today. Now for you grown-ups, the story is based for kids, but I guarantee you'll walk out of here today learning something too. All right. I will do my best to project while I'm reading. In a warm and sultry forest, far, far away, there once lived a mother food bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. How they knew Stella Luna, she crowed. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out in search of her food. Can I see the baby bat?
I'm not.
One night, as Mother Bat follows a heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. Unsettled wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bat. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster, into the forest below. The dark leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. Mother, Stella Luna squeaked, where are you? By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. Plump, Stella Luna landed head first in a soft downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. What was that? Cried Flap. I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet, chirped Flitter. Shh, here comes Mama, hissed Dip-Dip. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop, plop, in dropped a big green grasshopper. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing, except for one thing. Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. Eek! She cried, "Get back up here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks." The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. But was she a bird? Nope. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. Just like them, thought Stella Luna, I can fly too. Pip, Flitter, Flap, darn, Flitter. We had better go home, or we'll get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The three anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stella Luna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. Hey! A loud voice said, why are you hanging upside down? Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw the most peculiar face. I'm not upside down, you are, Stella Luna said. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs. Then that makes you upside down, the creature said. I'm a bat. I'm hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. You ate bugs? Stuttered one. You slept at night? Yes. How very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She asked. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, you are Stella Luna. You are my baby.
Come with me.
You escaped the owl, cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we'll crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in the darkness. Come with us. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me, meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go. Pip, they hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly. We'll fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap left for the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Ah! Shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, Stella Luna gasped. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter? And how can we feel so different and be so much alike, wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna. But we're friends, and that's a fact. Did you guys like the story? Did you like the fact that she found her mom again? That was one of my favorite parts. I like this story too because it teaches us a little bit about birds and bats, how they're alike and how they're different. Let's see. Do birds land on a branch up like this or down like this?
Up like
Yep, they perch. Now, do you think bats do that? No, they hang from below a perch. So they hang. Let's see. Do what? Because the myth scientists put them in their own scientific group or order. The big word, all it means is hand wing. It's kind of a fun word. It's called Chiroptera. Go ahead and try to say it. Chiroptera. All it means is hand wing. And when I bring out the live bats, I want you to look. They have thumbs and fingers, just like we do. The only difference is their finger bones are really long and there's skin in between them. Otherwise, they're just the same. Now, what time of day did the birds come out? Daytime, right? What time of day do bats come out? Nighttime. What do we call animals that are active at night? Nocturnal. You guys are smart. You guys must study really hard in school. You guys are smart. Animals that come out at night are called nocturnal. Now, let's see. What did the bats like to eat in the story? Fruit. Yep, collectively they're called fruit bats. Bats that eat fruit, you're correct. Now, there are other things that bats like to eat. In addition to fruit, there are bats that eat fish, bats that eat frogs, toads, and lizards. We're going to get to that. There are bats that eat other things like plant parts and drink nectar out of flowers. There are even bats that eat smaller animals like mice, smaller birds, and believe it or not, sometimes even smaller bats. Then there's the one bat that gives all other bats a bad name. It's the bat that everybody hears about, especially at Halloween. We're going to say his name on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Vampire bats! Everybody's heard of him, right? Well, there really are vampire bats, but there are only 3 kinds in the whole world. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why we shouldn't be worried or bothered with vampire bats. The first reason is really easy. They don't live in Virginia. They don't even live in the United States. They live in Mexico, Central, and South America. The second reason why we shouldn't be worried about vampire bats, they don't really like the taste of people's blood. They would prefer the blood of farm animals, things like cows, chickens, pigs, goats, and horses. And the last reason we shouldn't be worried about vampire bats, and this is kind of silly, because everybody has seen a scary movie with a bat in it, right? Well, in real life, head to tail, full-grown vampire bats are only that big. That's it. Now let me tell you how vampire bats find food, because again, there's a lot of scary stories. Say we have a bird sleeping. Everybody here knows what a chicken looks like, right? Yeah. All right, so let's just say a chicken is sleeping. Little vampire bat flies around, sees the chicken, and lands a couple feet away. This is really neat because vampire bats are one of the only bats that actually can do this. They actually use their back feet for walking or hopping. So he tiptoes up to the chicken so he doesn't wake it up. He makes a small cut, usually in the toe, with sharp teeth. Not fangs, but teeth, just like ours. And then he licks. Vampire bats don't suck blood, they lick it. Kind of like a dog licks up water. He eats about that much blood, that's it, to fill his tiny tummy. He tiptoes away, and he flies out. Now, do you think the chicken died because of that? No. Do you think the chicken was drained of all his blood? No. Do you think the chicken turned into a scary vampire chicken the next day? No. Nothing happens to the chicken. He probably sleeps through the whole thing. Have you guys ever been bitten by a mosquito when you've been sleeping, but you didn't wake up, the next day you just ditched? That's kind of like it is to a bigger animal like a cow or a horse. They just simply don't wake up. Now, we talked about various things that bats have eaten. But here in Virginia, there's one thing in particular that bats eat that we should love our bats for. All Virginia bats eat one thing. Insects, which includes mosquitoes. But they also eat moths and beetles and other flies. But that little bat that lives here in Virginia 100 mosquito-sized insects every single hour. They eat their entire body weights each night. That would be like you guys, on an average, have to eat about 20 whole large pizzas every night for dinner without getting sick. So we should bug bats because they help us out by eating a lot of bugs. Another reason why bats are good guys, they help spread seeds in the rainforest. When they eat fruit, they're really messy, they drop seeds all over. Sometimes eat the whole fruit, including the seeds. So when they're flying around, they do something that every other animal or person in the whole world has to do. Go to the bathroom, and seeds drop to the ground. And the last thing that bats do to help people out is just like bees, birds, and butterflies. They help pollinate flowers. Yep. Now, how many here like bananas? Peaches, mango, avocado. For you grown-ups, somebody like a good margarita? They don't have anything to do with margarita mix. They pollinate the agave plant, which tequila is derived. So all of these in nature are helped out by bats. So the next time you kids have a banana split, or grown-ups have a nice Mexican dinner with a margarita, think of bat. Now, where in the story did the bats like to live? Believe it or not, most bats live in trees. Many people think that most bats live in caves. And some of our bats do live in caves, but most bats only live in caves for a part of the year. They either, in this area, they'll hibernate in caves, or in the southwest, they'll actually migrate north and have their babies in caves. So, bats are only using caves part of the year. The main thing that they use to live in is trees. They live in old woodpecker holes and hollowed out trees under the loose and peeling bark of a dead tree. Well, what happens to trees when people need to build houses? We cut them down, right? Well, we can help them out because just like we build houses for birds, we can build houses for bats. This is what a bat house looks like. I'm going to tell you. Just bear with me for a second because adults may want to know this. It's long and it's wide and it has narrow compartments. And I'll tell you why that's important in a moment. Does that tell you how small our bats must be if they can sit up there? Now bats will fly around, they land here on this little landing platform, they crawl up inside. On a cooler day, they can climb up to the top where there's a ceiling that traps in the heat and keep warm. On a hot day, they can come down to this little ventilation slot or down lower where the air temperature is a little cooler. Now, when people buy bat houses, most often, the most common mistake that they make is where they put it. The most common mistake is they will put it on a tree in the shade. Well, bats do like trees. But think about what type of trees they live in. Old dead trees that doesn't have any leaf cover. That's because even though they use trees, there's something more important in selecting a place to live. Temperature. Think about where bats go when they get into people's houses. Warm places. Where was it? Attic. Have you guys ever been in your attic in the summertime? Bats like it really warm. So the best spot for your bat house, believe it or not, is on a polar building where it gets at least 10 feet high and gets at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. In general, the higher and better, the more sunlight, the better. Yes, sir.
We live at like a boarding school and on campus. So we call it a bat house on it.
Perfect. That's perfect. As long as there's no trees around the telephone pole, but they're usually cleared out of the telephone pole. Yep. Now, when bats climb up in here, they're also safe from predators. Can you kids remember what the predator in the story is? Oh, very good. There's also other predators of bats. This guy, snake. We have, oh, this guy, skunk. We have a little animal who scurries on the ground. He's gray, with a black mask and a ringtail. We have another animal that scurries on the ground. He's a little bit bigger, kind of looks like a cross between a dog and a cat, and he's got red hair. Red hair. We also have some other birds like hawks, smaller falcons, blue jays, and blackbirds. But believe it or not, the biggest predator of bats, and remember, a predator by definition is an animal that hunts another animal for food, is the for you grown-ups, once you put your bat house up, proper placement is everything you need. You don't need to do anything to the bat house to make it more attractive to the bats. The higher the better, the more sunlight the better. The reason why they're working on buildings and poles, well, on buildings, they usually retain heat. They're more consistent of a heat source. Everything equal, put them on a southeasterly exposure because the sun rises in the east. That's usually the coolest part of the day. The sun will hit it and keep it nice and toasty for the rest of the day. Put your bat house up in it. Leave it up for 2 full summers. If you get a bat house now, or you make a bat house now, you've already missed maternity season. They're having babies right now. So they're already established. So leave it up next spring and then the following spring. If you don't get bats next year, you should think about maybe moving it to a better spot. They do like proximity to water because that's where the bugs are, but it's never a problem in Virginia. We have water everywhere. So they can fly for miles. Now the benefit of putting up a bat house is the bats are going to eat around their house first until bugs are few and far between, then they venture out. If you put up a bat house, does anybody want to, let me ask, does anybody want to guess at how many bats will fit in here?
20.
Think big.
6. 7. 100.
More than 100. More than 200. 300 bats can fit in here. Does that again tell you how small they are? Now, the benefit of putting a bat house up is you're going to be helping bats out. But like I said, they're going to eat around their house until the bugs are few and far between. If you want to do the math, the benefit of putting up a bat house is say you have 300 bats move into your bat house. See, on an average, they eat 1,000 bugs an hour. They eat for 6 hours a night. That's 1,800,000 less bugs in your backyard. Who wants to wake up to 1,800,000 less bugs? I have directions up here on how to build this bat house right here. But you can also purchase them through like wild bird type stores, farms, some farm stores area. All right, I'm going to bring up the live bat. Everybody's attention. We're a pretty big group. So I need everybody to pay attention. Everybody who's sitting on the floor, please sit crisscross applesauce for me. Clap your hands. What's in your left? I'm going to walk around the room so the bat can meet you. If I'm walking around, I don't want to accidentally step on fingers, and I might not be paying attention to where I'm putting my feet. So keep your hands on your lap. Putting your hands on your lap will also remind you to be polite. Because what is the polite thing to do when the animals are out? We don't want to scare the little guys, do we? No. And if we're really quiet and they feel comfortable, you might actually hear the first bat, Magoo. He's awful grouchy when I wake him up. How many of you are grouchy at 2 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. So you might hear him complain. Let's see, you might see somebody yawn, you might see somebody lick their lips. They might let me stretch out a wing. So you'll get to see really cool stuff that not everybody gets to see. If it gets too loud, it is my job to make sure they feel comfortable. And if it gets too loud, I'll have to put them up. Now it is my job to make sure you guys feel comfortable. If you don't want to see the bed up close, that's okay. Just say, Miss Denise, no thank you, and I'll go around you so that I'll make you feel uncomfortable. Now that won't leave my hand or my person, so you don't have to worry about them flying around. This is a strange place to them, and they would be scared, and they could hurt themselves. You can look at the bat as close as you would like. The only thing that I ask is you don't try to touch or pet the bat. And again, that's not because I think the bat's going to hurt you. Imagine how you would feel if you were walking home, minding your own business, and 150 strange people came up to you and started petting you on the head. You wouldn't like that, would you? Well, you guys are strangers to them. They would feel uncomfortable. Flash photography does not bother them. Go ahead and take as many pictures as you want. They're kind of used to it. Now, I'm going to ask you a big favor and try to make another aisle right here. You guys can take this scoot that way. Perfect. Perfect. You're right. You're fine. Perfect.
Why over there? Why is
Everybody gets another close look. Be patient. If I start over here, I haven't forgotten you guys. I'll get to you. But then on the next bat, I'll start over here and make it fair. Yes, ma'am. I'll tell you about the second one when I bring it up. The first bat that I'm going to show you is Magoo. She has good memory. He's a bat like around here. These guys are called big brown bats. They are found throughout the state of Virginia. They're very common. And he didn't crack it today. That's because they're ready to wake up. Oh, did you just hear him? He's grumpy. This is Magoo. He cannot fly. I'm just showing you, because I'm going to tell you what happened to Magoo. Magoo got into somebody's door behind their window, and he got his wing caught in the window.
Can you see Magoo?
Well, in order to save Magoo's life, he lost part of his wing, so he cannot fly. So basically,
you can see Magoo.
it's like his arm being cut off right here above the elbow. So he can't fly, but he goes around and he meets people and he teaches them about bats. Now I want you kids to look for his senses. His ears, his eyes, his nose, his mouth. He's awake. Very awake. Stay seated, I will get to everybody, I promise. Believe it or not, he's a big brown bat. That's because the little brown bat's even smaller than this. Did you get it?
I think she wants the bat.
So small, you really see it.